Iran accidentally targets its own partner amid Middle East carnage. A missile strike slammed into a building used by a Chinese firm in northern Kuwait. Beijing publicly snubbed the attack, stressing that any attack on innocent civilians and non-military targets is unacceptable.
Verification has confirmed that no Chinese citizens were affected by the attack. Following the incident, the Chinese embassy in Kuwait immediately advised Chinese citizens and institutions in the country to heighten their risk awareness and strengthen security precautions. At the same time, the embassy contacted relevant Kuwaiti authorities, urging them to take concrete and effective measures to ensure the safety of Chinese institutions in Kuwait. China believes that any attack on innocent civilians and non-military targets is unacceptable, and calls on all relevant parties to exercise restraint, continue to properly resolve differences and disputes through dialogue and consultation, and promote the restoration of peace and stability in the Gulf region as soon as possible. I am not aware of the specific situation you mentioned. As a matter of principle, we have consistently opposed the overgeneralization of the concept of national security and discriminatory actions against China. This development marks yet another negative move in Japan's domestic and foreign security policies. Historically, Japanese intelligence agencies paved the way for the country's full-scale pursuit of militarism and wars of aggression, committing countless atrocities against its Asian neighbors and the Japanese people alike. Recently, citing so-called external threats to national security as a pretext, Japan has accelerated its remilitarization process. This threatens regional peace and stability and has sparked widespread concern within the international community. Japanese politicians should learn profound lessons from history and act with caution. We are urgently verifying and gathering information on the situation. We will provide assistance to Chinese citizens in need and are also willing to offer help based on the needs of the Pakistani side. We have noted the relevant reports, and China has repeatedly stated its position on this issue. The US should immediately stop threatening Cuba with force and cease all forms of unilateral sanctions and blockades against Cuba. China will continue to firmly support Cuba in safeguarding its national sovereignty and opposing external interference, and will work with all parties to uphold international fairness and justice. We have noted the relevant reports, and China has repeatedly stated its position on this issue. The US should immediately stop threatening Cuba with force and cease all forms of unilateral sanctions and blockades against Cuba. China will continue to firmly support Cuba in safeguarding its national sovereignty and opposing external interference, and will work with all parties to uphold international fairness and justice. First of all, China opposes any form of illegal immigration. At the same time, we believe that all parties should strengthen coordination and properly handle the relevant issues.
Did the dragon just shut down America's biggest Iran war rumor, as Beijing moves swiftly to knock down talk of a secret missile pipeline to Tehran? Was Iran really on the verge of getting Beijing's deadliest missiles, or has she now personally signaled that such reports are nothing more than fiction? Has China finally broken its silence on explosive claims of an Iran missile deal, stepping in to deny any role as war tensions keep rising? China has broken its silence on swirling claims of a secret missile deal with Iran, speaking out just as war tensions in the region reach a dangerous new peak. On July 30th, Beijing publicly rejected media reports suggesting it planned to supply missiles to Iran, insisting the allegations do not match reality. Beijing went further, labeling the claims factually inaccurate and completely unfounded, framing the story as baseless speculation rather than a real arms deal.
We have repeatedly clarified our position on this issue. The relevant reports are factually inaccurate and completely unfounded. China has always played a role in promoting peace and preventing war.
This denial came after reports claimed Iran was about to receive a major Chinese air defense package, raising fears that the Iran war could suddenly gain powerful new backing from Beijing. Iran is expected to receive Chinese-made air defense missile systems within weeks, according to a Reuters report citing multiple sources. Tehran is expected to use the new missile deliveries to rebuild its air defenses following the recent war with the United States and Israel. Reuters reported that the deal includes between 300 and 400 QW-12 and FN-16 man-portable air defense missile systems. Sources told Reuters the reported contract is valued at between $60 million and $70 million. The report said the purchase would rank among Iran's largest acquisitions of short-range air defense systems in recent years. Reuters said the recent conflict exposed significant gaps in Iran's ability to defend key military bases and strategic facilities. 3 sources told Reuters the procurement was arranged through Hong Kong-based company Zhongqing Baoshang. China dismissed the Reuters report as groundless, while Pakistan denied playing any role in the reported missile transfer. Meanwhile, Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps has continued launching surprise missile attacks against U.S. military targets across the region. China's top scientists now claim they have debunked Washington's assertions about the true impact of Iran's retaliatory attacks across the Gulf. A research team from the Chinese Academy of Sciences analyzed reported damage to U.S. military bases between February 28 and April 9. According to an SCMP report, the study concluded that American military installations across the Middle East remain highly vulnerable to sustained attacks. Chinese researchers claimed the cumulative damage inflicted on U.S. military bases reached nearly 2.35 million square feet during the conflict. During Iran's opening wave of strikes, the damage recorded in a single day reportedly totaled nearly 58,600 square meters, according to SCMP. The report further alleged that Iran's attacks triggered a 2-wave collapse in America's regional air defense network during the conflict. The U.S. installation said to have suffered the heaviest damage was Kuwait's strategically important Ali Al Salem Air Base, according to the report. Researchers claimed the Kuwaiti air base became Iran's single largest military target, with at least 20 separate strike points identified. The Al Dhafra air base in the United Arab Emirates also reportedly sustained extensive damage from Iran's missile campaign. The report alleged that strikes on Al Dhafra destroyed MQ-9 Reaper drone hangars along with facilities linked to U-2 reconnaissance aircraft. Bahrain, home to the U.S. Navy CENTCOM and 5th Fleet headquarters, was also said to have suffered extensive damage during the attacks. Chinese scientists further claimed that several American military facilities in Bahrain sustained structural damage following repeated Iranian strikes. The report also alleged that details of the destruction remain obscured after the United States tightened restrictions on commercial satellite imagery providers. After meeting Netanyahu, President Trump orders a fresh wave of military strikes on Iranian targets. Donald Trump ordered U.S. Central Command to launch fresh airstrikes on Iran, escalating the confrontation and raising questions about what could come next in the ongoing conflict. U.S. Central Command statement read, and I quote, "U.S. forces began launching strikes against Iran at 8 p.m. Eastern Time today. The strikes are a powerful response to yesterday's attempted Iranian attacks on U.S. forces based in the Middle East," unquote. The CENTCOM statement further read, and I quote, "At 10 p.m. Eastern Time on July 29th, U.S. Central Command forces successfully completed a heavy wave of strikes against Iran in response to yesterday's attempted missile attacks on U.S. forces. CENTCOM assets struck dozens of Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps targets in Iran, including military command centers, missile and drone facilities, coastal surveillance and defense sites, and maritime capabilities. The strikes aim to further diminish threats posed by Iran and its proxies to American forces, commercial shipping, and neighboring Gulf countries. On July 28th, IRGC forces launched multiple ballistic missiles from Iran in an attempted surprise attack on U.S. forces based in the Middle East. All Iranian missiles were successfully intercepted. More than 50,000 U.S. service members are currently deployed to the Middle East and remain highly vigilant, focused, lethal, and ready." Unquote. 3 explosions were reported on Qeshm Island, according to Iran's Tasnim News, raising fresh questions about the extent of damage caused by U.S. strikes. U.S. strikes reportedly targeted locations in Al-Bardan, located in Iran's Khuzestan province, as military pressure continues to build across key areas. Additional U.S. missile strikes were also reported near Avaz, Shadgan, and Avandkana, expanding the list of locations affected in the latest wave of attacks. Although, an Iranian official did not provide details on possible casualties, leaving the extent of the damage and human impact unclear. This comes as Donald Trump's warning against Iran appears to have turned into the latest series of strikes, marking another major development in the growing confrontation. Washington says it's now America's turn to respond as tensions with Tehran spiral once again.